It's great for me to be up here again. It's been a while since I've been in front of everybody. And first of all, I wanted to say that I really got a lot out of a lot of the agent intels, whether it's Ted or Paul or Sarah or Jesse Park. I mean, this has really been a great addition to our sales meeting, Danny. So I think you're probably getting good feedback on it. It's great to hear from the new partners. Obviously, you know, everybody's story is a little different here, and I'm always trying to get you guys to tell your story, right? Because it really helps us. One of the reasons we're growing so quickly is because of the connectivity within our teams. It's a very unique model, and I think that's what's stimulating the growth. And I was telling Dan even today, we're a different company than we were 2 years ago.
Yeah.
A few years ago, when you came to the sales meeting, it was a lot of the same people up on the leaderboard every week. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So things changed when we started to have this road to 100 million. We started to have this initiative for recruiting. We started to have an awareness of building up and raising up the next generation of leadership in the company. So that's already in place now, and look what's happening. It's just incredible how much growth we've had even in the last 3 months. So things are moving a little quicker here for our company. So I thought it would be good for us to look at success, because, you know, even as Brian, the new partner, Brian Kilbert, said today, success is defined differently in different ways in different companies, right? So many of us have come from places where we had a job, and here's how success looks in that position or that company or that corporation. Here it's a little different, because what are you doing? You're building a business. And many of us haven't done that before when we come into this industry. So we're really excited, but we've never really built a business. So success for us is a little bit different. And I looked at this information that I discovered, and I thought this could be really valuable for a lot of folks here. So, you know, our sales are amazing. You'll see a lot of recognition and bonuses and trips and everything else. But I know there's people in this room, and I know there's people that may be on the call that are stuck. They may be feeling like they're not having any success. They may be working really hard, but they may be feeling that the partnership, the trips, the bonuses, the big bucks, everything is for other people. They may be feeling like they're not that special, that this is not for them. Well, you know, I just want to tell you guys that I feel your pain and your struggle. And when I was brand new in this company, you can ask Neil Carey or Jeff Zymet or Mons or Frank. I had a lot of struggles early on, and it was really tough for me. I learned it, I stuck to it, I grew in a lot of different ways and got over the hump. So I want to kind of unpack some stuff today that hopefully will help us. So this information I feel like is very relevant for new agents, also relevant for the people who feel like they're not having that much success, and I think it's really relevant for our leaders. So everybody, let's take a look at this. The success triangle. Paul, Kevin, would you guys say that Sandler principles have helped our company grow?
Absolutely.
Okay. Tino, what about you?
Use it all the time.
Okay. So what I love about Sandler principles is that it's based on human behavior, right? And when you understand human behavior and have a little bit of insight, it's fairly predictable. So when we know what we're going to do when we're engaging a client, we can use the same principles in looking at ourselves, evaluating ourselves, and understanding what success is. So basically success, and these are Sandler principles, by the way, the success triangle is what we're gonna look at here. So salespeople think of success in terms of accomplishments, right? Very straightforward, like winning in a major account, reaching sales goals, earning commissions, bonuses, trips, getting promoted, reaching the partnership. Even in our company, we can be preoccupied with that, right? Because we're bringing this sales information, we're bringing this growth information, we're recognizing new partners, we're always getting new bonuses coming in from the carriers. However, all of these achievements are signs of success. True success is an experience. This is what caught me, and is defined as the convergence of 3 core elements: attitude, your outlook and expectations, confidence and conviction, knowledge of yourself, the market, and the company. When we're recruiting people, we're kind of putting that out there, right? Technique is your strategies and tactics, your application. knowing the right thing to do and saying in a given situation. Very big part of success. Finally, behavior, actually doing the right things on a consistent basis, or muscle memory. So if we look at success as an experience, everybody's going to have a little bit of a different one. And what I love about this business is there's a lot of different ways to do it, right? You hear about it every week. And I think it's great that people can market themselves differently. They can focus on different products. They can even do the sales process different within, person to person. So here's the success triangle. And it's based on the understanding that success, it has attitude, technique, and behavior. All three of these, when properly developed, will ensure that you're successful. And again, we're talking about building a business. It's not like working a job. There's a lot of things you have to discover about yourself, about the market, about techniques and applications here in order so that you can continue to grow your business and can continue to grow your career and your income. This is one of the only places that you can find an income that goes up every year.
Right.
Go tell me where you can find that.
And not by 2% either, like in a corporate.
Right. So this is very important to understand this, because this is what you want. You want to be able to get into this business, have a certain degree of success, have an experience that you can relate to other people, and have a better understanding of yourself. So let's look at this. The experience of success, the process, success is a process, actually delivers positive results. We can think of this as a triangle with the core elements of attitude, technique, and behavior, each representing one point of the figure. This is the Sandler success triangle. This is for salespeople. This is perfect for our business because we're doing things differently. So let's look at it a little closer. Attitude is at the top. It drives performance, right? This is how you feel about yourself, about the company, about the market. Generally, when someone comes into the company, this is at a pretty high level. They're excited about their new opportunity, right? This is where they get preoccupied a lot. Mm-hmm. They're worried about what to say in each situation. People will read brochures till they're blue in the face and fall asleep. Is that the right way to learn it? Not really. So technique will make you more effective when engaging processes, and you do need to have better technique all the time. And here's behavior. Behavior translates positive thoughts into action. Okay, so all three of these things, keep in mind if you're a leader, this is very relevant. Every one of your guys, every one of your new agents is going to come into this with a different understanding of what it takes to be successful. It's up to you to kind of meet them where they are and talk about all three of these. Let's dig in a little further. I got cut off a little bit, but that's okay. So here's attitude. Your awareness of the company, the market, mind, body, and spirit, how you feel about yourself. Could be different for everybody, right? A lot of people have no experience. I had no experience in insurance. I felt good about the company and the market. I didn't feel so great about myself at the beginning, I can tell you that. But I had a good attitude. Here's the technique. Strategies, tactics, qualifying, right? These are the techniques that we need to continue to improve on. I'm still continuing to look for opportunities to sharpen up what I'm doing, to shorten the sales cycle, to get into new ways of dealing with new kinds of clients, whether it's groups, Medicare people. And here's the behavior. Here's the goals, the focus, and the discipline. So this is attitude and commitment. You got to bring this every day. This is strategies and tactics. Could be scripts, could be templates, could be call plans. This is going to be refined and improved over time, right? You're going to start with little or no strategy, right? Maybe something general, but you're going to have the ability to understand more about these leads. If you're working the leads, understand more about what it takes to get people on the phone, to connect with them, to get from one spot to the next in the Sandler sales cycle, to understand the pain money decision process so you can understand who's likely to buy and spend most of your time on them. Here's your behaviors. This is so important, the focus and discipline. What's focus? block time on your calendar or your schedule to do the behaviors that you need to be successful. Don't look at your email. Don't look at your texts or your phone. Continue to make calls for 2 or 3 hours, because that's what it takes to be successful. That's what it takes to build a pipeline. Network leads, walk and talks. You could put more marketing activities here, right? That's what I want you guys to get out of this. This is your action. This is your behavior. This is where you build the pipeline, all right? This is what you do with the leads. This is what you have to bring every day to drive performance here and to continue to improve here. So here, we're going to unpack it even more. Do you think we're onto something here?
Definitely.
I'm talking about for new agents. I'm talking about for people that are stuck. And I'm talking about for leaders.
Good stuff.
All right. Where do you start? What's the most important?
Attitude, I'd say.
Attitude? Anybody else? Technique? Behavior?
No, you don't have those at the beginning. I mean, you can only control your attitude.
Well, you can bring a good attitude in not knowing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've been recruited, you've seen the numbers, maybe you've been to a sales meeting.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Or believe it till
Fake it till you make it. I like
I did a
that.
lot of that.
Wow. That might be a simple truth. I'm going to have to remember that. Thanks, Dee. Fake it till you make it is what Dee
Or
said.
believe it till you achieve it.
Or believe it till you achieve it.
That's
Wow, we really are onto something here. I like all this stuff, Dan. We're getting some good information here, aren't we? So, what's the most important, you guys? Behavior.
Huh.
Behavior. Oh, here's why. This is very important. Notice this is movement. This is action. This is going into the market and engaging. This is measurable. This is muscle memory. This is action. This is where you set your goals. Short-term, long-term. What could be a short-term goal for a new agent?
Superstar calls today.
Superstar's a 3-month goal. Give me a short-term goal for a week. Producer bonus.
Yeah, producer bonus.
Maybe it's a number of calls.
Yep.
Number of apps.
Help your people set short-term goals. Why? Because as they're in this with the behavior, guess what's going to happen? As they get people on the phone and engage them about health insurance, they're going to need to start improving their technique, right? Notice nothing happens without the action and the movement. Joe Eichmann says a plan is worthless without action. So if you're a new agent and you build a business plan, guess what? You got to start somewhere with movement. This is very important. Movement is different than improvement. Improvement will happen when there's movement here. So this is so important for you guys to understand. This part of this is the most important. Go ahead, Gene.
And with action and behavior, the better your techniques become, because the more you do something, the better you get at it.
Exactly. So this behavior is the most important. So again, it's easy to feel like attitude needs to be there, and it does. Because if you have a bad attitude, you're not even going to be able to do anything in there anyway, right? So as a leader, we need to keep people's attitude in the right place. Many times it takes a while. It takes 500 dials to get any gather at the beginning, possibly, right? When you're working the age leads or the free leads. So here's where you set your goals. This action, this muscle memory. Muscle memory means use some of the skills and abilities that you bring into the business that are comfortable for you already. If you've worked on the phone and sold on the phone, I suggest you hit the phones hard. You know, if you've been somebody that is a networker, obviously get out there and do that. It's action, it's movement. It's going to continue to help you here, which is going to improve your attitude. If you have a gather that you can bring to your leader and say, I talked to this guy today, here's his situation. Your leader's going to give you insight into the market, possibly some ideas on products to quote. You can schedule a time to follow up. Jerry, we're doing this all the time, aren't we? I'm telling Jerry, get the best gather you can. Make as many calls as you need to get these people on the phone. And he's working the $5 leads. And You know, I tell you what, we've got people in this company that help us have insight into this. Mike Leb says the average sales made on the 12th call or 7th call. Is it the 7th?
12.
8th call. So if you're calling a person 4 or 5 times,
Doesn't matter.
sorry about that.
Just keep calling.
I can tell you it's not the 3rd or 4th call. So we're giving up on our leads too quickly. Let's keep the behavior going, the action, the movement that's required to get sales, okay? So let's talk about SMART goals. You've heard this before. You got to be specific in what you want to set a goal about. You have measurable. You got to be able to track your progress. If you have movement here, you're going to have the ability to track goals, achievable, something that's relevant that you can actually do in a week or a month or 3 months, whether it's Superstart. Realistic, it's got to be accomplished with reasonable time and effort, and it's got to be bound to a time. It's got to be defined by time. Set a date and time for completion. This is how you set your goals. Just do a couple short term and see what happens, because you're going to look at this behavior to try to drive your success.
Oh, question.
Keep hitting the wrong thing here. Question? Go ahead, sir.
Being brand new to the industry, I heard the comments, it takes 7 or 8 calls to actually get someone engaged and move forward. I mean, is that the nature of the beast within the health insurance industry?
That's coming from one of our top people who is process driven, and he measures everything. So out of his team, which is significant.
Can you just reference what the statement was or the question?
Oh yeah. So the question was, he was asking about, the fact that the sale is made on the 7th or 8th call. Is that an industry standard? No, that's internally within our company, and this is working network leads. So these are internet leads. So this is where you put a headset on and you're making 100 calls a day.
At least.
At least. That's the. Maybe that should be your short-term goal. Make 100 calls and see what that feels like. I can tell you, if you can make the 100 calls, it's going to improve your attitude, because you're going to do something that you didn't think you could do. And it's going to improve your technique, because I guarantee you, if you make 100 calls, you're going to get some people on the phone.
You gotta leave 100 messages.
It's okay to leave 100 messages, but to your point, the 7th or 8th call is an average. As we get better, we're going to make sales quicker, because we're going to pin them down quicker. We're going to be better at qualifying. We're going to present the right products the first time. So let's look at the behavior again. Behaviors must always connect to personal goals. So don't just wake up making phone calls. Have an idea why you're doing it. Goals must have an unconditional commitment to achieve. So this can't be a pie in the sky. If you want to have success, you got to pin yourself down. You're selling yourself short if you're not setting goals. Goals must connect to a strategy or plan to achieve it. They must confirm actions necessary to execute the goal. Work with your leader to come up with this stuff. Does this make sense? Does it look like it might help some of us?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay, or all of us, maybe even myself. I was a producer for a long time, and I made a commitment to the company and to myself to be a recruiter this year. And I can tell you, I'm having to reinvent myself and examine all this stuff for me, really, in a big way. So, here's a good little graphic. As you increase the behavior, you're improving your attitude. As your attitude improves, so will your technique. As your technique improves, so will your behavior. So this is increasing. This is movement, not improvement. You don't improve behavior. You increase it. Remember that. You improve your attitude. You improve your technique. You increase your behavior. So that's about it. But in closing here, how do we want to use this information? Self-evaluation for sure, and execution of goals. Strategic planning for team building. Good things to be talking with agents about, especially the ones that are stuck. New agent business plans. Understand what the experience of success looks like before someone gets into the business. Agent or leader accountability. Very big part of driving sales, and developing leadership within teams. So these kinds of dialogues within our teams are going to help us to get to the 100 million. I'm very excited where we're at as a company. I don't think it's ever grown this quickly in this short a period of time. And we've really unleashed an incredible opportunity nationwide now with all our new offices and teams.
Yeah.
And the leaders are to be commended for their efforts. If you're new with the company now, you're coming in at a great time. This industry is going to continue to grow exponentially, and we're going to be way out in front of this every step of the way because of the commitment we have from our staff, the vision and strategy we have to hit this 100 million, and it's going to be fantastic. So any more questions, you guys?